This example problem is converting a quadratic from general to standard form. I'm going to use the technique of completing the square. We did a couple examples like that in class, but not one as complicated as this. And I think this will help you with some of the more complicated ones on WebAssign. I'm going to start by rewriting the function, and I'm going to factor out a -3 from the two x terms. When I factor out -3 from 14x, I'm going to have -14 times x. Okay, so if you take a look at that, how in the world did I factor out a -3? Well, -3 times -14 is +14. So that's where that comes from. Notice how I kept the -13 outside of the parentheses. I'm going to deal with that separately. The next step in completing the square is to take the term here, cut it in half, and square it. So my new function will look like this. F of x equals -3 times x squared minus 14/3 x plus 49/9. I'm going to let you think about that for a second in terms of how I got 49/9. Remember, -14/3, when I cut that in half, it becomes, let me show you here, 14/3. When I cut that in half, I get 7/3. So -7/3 squared is 49/9. So the thing that I have right now in parentheses is in the form of a trinomial that can be factored. It's a perfect square trinomial. That was the whole goal of what we did. So I can rewrite that as -3 times the quantity x minus 7/3 squared minus 13. So the x minus 7/3 quantity squared is equal to the previous step, what I had in here. So those two pieces are equal. And that's, if you're not sure how to do that, take a look. If you take this piece here and square it, you'll get what we have in the previous step. I'm not quite done yet, though, because I have to adjust for the fact that I added 49/9. I can't just add that to the equation here without adjusting for that. Otherwise, I'd change the value of the function. But I didn't really add 49/9. What I did is I subtracted 3 times 49/9, because you can't forget about what we did with this coefficient over here. So I actually subtracted 3 times 49/9. So I have to add 3 times 49/9 here. The next step, I'm going to show what that looks like simplified. Okay, so when I add 3 times 49/9, that actually simplifies to 49/3. And now it's just a matter of taking these two fractions, or this fraction and this number, and finding a common denominator and combining those like terms. Down at the bottom of the screen here, I've showed you how to combine those two numbers there. -13 can be written as a fraction as -39/3. The reason I did that is so I'd have a common denominator, and those two combine to give us 10/3. So I think I'm ready now for my final answer. My final answer is f of x equals -3 times the quantity x minus 7/3 squared plus 10/3. And if you want to test your answer, you could take that function, expand the squared term, distribute the -3, and you'll end up back where you started.